I had rehabilitated dogs for about 8 years when my helper dog Annie was getting older and losing interest in assisting me help other dogs. Annie had been my right-hand dog, helping about 200 dogs and puppies for 8 years. She taught the dogs how to be confident, how to play, and all about dog manners and behavior. She would be serious when she had to be, but all the dogs loved Annie. Annie taught me so much about fairness and how dogs communicate with each other and set boundaries with each other. Here she is with one of my foster puppies. This puppy could be a little rambunctious and over the top sometimes, but Annie really loved her. And here she is getting slightly annoyed by the puppy, and you can see the puppy's energy escalate and grab Annie and shake her nose. And then Annie tells her right here, "That's enough, puppy." And the puppy sits down and then walks away. Annie was showing me she was ready to retire, so how would I find a replacement for her? As luck would have it, the right dog just happened to find me. Chardonnay appeared in my life because her current family needed to find her a new home. She kept escaping her yard, and I suspected it was not a happy life for her. At one adoption event, Chardonnay showed up with a huge abscess taking up the entire side of her face. There's Chardonnay at that adoption event, and I'm touching her all over to make sure she's still okay with people saying hello to her at the adoption event. You can see here she wants to say hello to this little boy that's carrying something, even though she has a massive wound on her face. I suspected a human caused this injury and instinctively took Chardonnay into my home as my foster dog. Annie would have to help me with one more dog before retirement. My dogs liked Chardonnay right away, but Chardonnay was rough around the edges. Annie and my pack had some work to do. This is Chardonnay greeting Annie and my other dog Shiloh for the first time. You can see that they like Chardonnay because they're close to the gate with soft bodies and low wagging tails. Chardonnay is very unsure. I was told by the family that the other dog in the house would attack Chardonnay, and this could explain some of her stiffness. But I didn't feel like she was going to attack my dogs. And as soon as she had a little bit of time to get to know them, her body language softened up and her tail started wagging. Chardonnay also chooses to walk away and avoid when she feels stressed, which was a good sign that she was non-confrontational with dogs and would end up getting along with them quite well. There was still a long road ahead, but I felt good that Chardonnay could make great progress. For safety, I muzzle trained Chardonnay and let her interact with my dogs in the yard. I had to teach her to leave Annie alone when Annie was getting annoyed by snapping and stepping into Chardonnay's space. And here, Chardonnay understands and walks away. To safely have the dogs interact and learn how to play with each other, each dog must understand when to stop if I ask them to. Here you can see Chardonnay being a little rough in her play. One of her signature moves was to body slam my dogs like that, and I do not like dogs playing that rough in my yard, and my dogs don't like it either. So here you can see Annie stop playing and start sniffing Chardonnay and telling Chardonnay, like, hey, that's not okay. Annie's not upset with her because she keeps playing, but Chardonnay got the point. I introduced Shiloh into the playtime, and here you can see Annie tell Chardonnay when she's being too rough. Right there. And she also protects Shiloh here by leading Chardonnay away. Once I felt safe with Chardonnay in the yard and my ability to ask her to calm down, I removed her muzzle and put her on a long line so she could play more naturally with Annie. As you can see here, they had a lot of fun together. You can see Annie is still teaching Chardonnay a little bit, but her behavior and politeness in play has greatly improved. Chardonnay and Annie became friends, and Chardonnay and my other dog Shiloh became really close and loved snuggling and playing with each other. Gradually, with Annie's help, Chardonnay's play manners improved. Slowly, Annie went to the background as Chardonnay stepped up to help me rehabilitate other dogs and puppies. Chardonnay does a great Wookiee impression as her signature sound. I realized Chardonnay had something special in the way she interacted with dogs. And I started using her quite a bit to help me with training dogs and rehabilitating other dogs. So Chardonnay keeps limiting her access around the yard. So if Zoe runs in front, the doodle, Chardonnay will cut in front of her and stop her. See, she just stopped her. This is Zoe's first 2 hours here, so Chardonnay is making it clear who controls the space in the yard. Chardonnay was much more playful and less controlling with this dog that needed a confidence boost. Over the course of fostering Chardonnay for 9 months, I watched her become a chameleon with dogs. She could read a dog and become what the dog needed her to be to help. It wasn't until we fostered Siri and Alexis, 6-week-old bulldog mixed puppies, that I saw Chardonnay's true genius. The first night in my home, Chardonnay took over their initiation. She understood the importance of setting boundaries and restrictions on these puppies' freedom. This will make the puppies feel secure because they know someone else is in charge, but also let them know that this is not their territory yet. You can see Chardonnay is keeping them in the corner by the refrigerator with just a look and her body posture, and these puppies immediately understand what's going on. When she's satisfied they're going to stay there, she walks away. But the puppies make a break for it and try to explore the kitchen more, but Chardonnay stops them. All she has to do is step in and lower her head and use her energy to move the puppies back to the spot by the refrigerator. I don't know why Chardonnay chose this spot to keep them in, but she did. Oh, the puppies are making a break for it again. Let's see if Chardonnay, she steps in. It's kind of hard because she has 2 of them to corral, but she manages just fine. She decides to let this one sniff the backpack while she tends to this other puppy first. She gets the puppy to move back to the refrigerator with just a slight bump of her nose right there. And here, Chardonnay herds the other puppy back to the spot by the refrigerator again. I had never seen Chardonnay do anything like this, and I was honestly quite amazed. Once I saw Chardonnay herd the puppies back by the fridge so calmly, and the puppies listened to her so well, I was pretty sure I had found my new helper dog, but I needed to make sure. Due to Chardonnay taking charge and setting boundaries, the puppies followed her everywhere for the next few weeks. Chardonnay would pay attention to them a little bit, but in the beginning, she kind of ignored them. As the puppies settled in, got better behaved, and adjusted to our home, Chardonnay would pay more attention to them. These puppies could be quite aggressive towards each other, and I relied on Chardonnay to help me manage that. She would walk in between them or bark to separate them. The pups get pretty riled up here, and Chardonnay stops their behavior by walking in between them and shooing them each off to their own corner of the yard. Annie makes cameo appearances every once in a while, usually telling the pups to stay away from her and allow Chardonnay to pick up the slack. Annie gladly passed the torch to Chardonnay and enjoyed her retirement. Sometimes the pups need reprimanding, but as they behave better, Chardonnay plays with them more and more, doing her whoopee impression. Notice the pups are arguing less with each other and playing more with Chardonnay. They were removed from the mother 2 weeks too soon, and Chardonnay was able to complete the mama dog's job while the pups were at our house. The cutest part of this whole event was when this puppy grabbed this rope and paraded it around in front of Chardonnay. She seemed so proud of herself and wanted Chardonnay to acknowledge her accomplishment, but Chardonnay didn't give her much satisfaction. Siri and Alexis both got adopted to nice homes, and Chardonnay went on to help many more dogs. 4 years later, Chardonnay is still my main helper dog. She's been instrumental in helping me rehabilitate countless dogs and puppies.